Life life is beautiful. Live every moment and be happy. Yeah, got this down in Devon with my godmother. If only they had this quote in B movie.
Sugar, oh honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
B movie, Buzz, directed by Simon J. Smith and Steve Hinker, and is the 15th Dreamworks movie overall, as well as the second Dreamworks animated feature to be released in 2007 after the Turs. That was Shrek the Turs. B movie tells the story taking place in New York, where Barry Benson, voiced by Jerry Steinfeld, a young teenage bee. His parents are encouraging him to get a job, and like all bees, he'll have to do and commit to this one job for the rest of his days. One day, he gets an opportunity to join the pollen jocks outside the hive, looking for more to life than just what the bee society wants for him, and meets and befriends Floris Vanessa, voiced by Renee Zellweger. And he discovers that the humans, well, take the bee's honey to eat, so he vows to sue the human race until they agree to return all the bee's honey. Yeah, let's just say 2007 was one of the more underwhelming years for DreamWorks. It had the worst Shrek installment in it. Not a year DreamWorks look back on with much fondness. And B movie isn't much better received either. And this review was most kindly requested for a couple of months now by awesome subscriber and pal Sam. So Sam, this review is all for you. Hope you enjoy it, as I know how much you adore my DreamWorks reviews, and hope I can do this movie justice in my review. And as for my relationship with B movie, I never saw it in cinemas, but me and my sister got it on DVD, and she absolutely loves it. So if she were to review this movie right now, she'd probably raise it a little higher than I was. But as for me, B uh, movie to me, while it's clearly far from DreamWorks' best, I still think it's a little underappreciated and not that bad. It's not an A movie, sure, but it is, as the title says, a B movie. But there is still lots of good. But there's still lots of good in B movie that I wish more people would recognize. And whether you like B movie or not, I think we can all agree this is certainly the superior DreamWorks movie from 2007. I mean, who wouldn't put this above Shrek the Turtles? And what makes a B movie rather educational and important for younger audiences to watch, particularly, is its facts about the bees. The movie even opens with a statement: "There's no freaking way a bee should be able to fly, as its tiny wings cannot possibly lift its fat body above the ground." So the comedy in this movie isn't half bad, and there are less pop cultural references here, thank goodness. And lots of the comedy does come from, well, a bee's eye view of the world, and, well, bee puns are like, your father paid good honey for those, and of course our lead protagonist Barry Benson. Because let's face it, what else would you name a bee other than a first name and a surname that begins with the letter B? He's one of DreamWorks' more okay protagonists. Sure, uh, it's cliched how he doesn't want what his parents and his bee society want for him. He wants everything to change. He wants more out of life, but I do love his fascination with the human world and his willingness to befriend and talk to humans, unlike the other bees. And by the third act of the movie, when all the flowers die because there are no bees collecting honey to pollinate them, he realizes he messed up major time and does want to, correct his mistakes. So at least he's not a perfect character because that would be dull. And Vanessa, voiced by Angie from Shark Tale, Renee Zellweger, she is probably my favorite character in B movie. And she's not even a B, nor is she Barry's girlfriend. They treat it more as a close friendship because, there's no way a human and a bee could make out or fuck her because Barry would not be able to get his microscopic penis into her huge vagina. But unlike the other humans around her, uh, like her douchebag boyfriend, voiced by Patrick Warburton, she has compassion for the bees and all living things, and the fact that she's a florist and she sells the things that the bees pollinate makes a total sense. And without her, Barry would not be able to save the day in the third act when they both fly the plane. The plane scene being the best paced and most thrilling parts of the movie, by the way. And uh, and also Patrick Warburton as Vanessa's boyfriend, who becomes her ex by the end. I mean, as a villain, I'm surprised this guy isn't a bee exterminator for a living, but he's funny as hell. I mean, when he tries to, well, get rid of Barry while Vanessa's not looking, and just gets his pants in a twist when Vanessa is not free to do yoga with him. I can see why some would find him the most hilarious part of the movie when he eats up the scenery. And the moral of this movie of why we need bees, because, without them, there would be no vegetation, no plants, and no flowers, and everything would die. So bees are some of the most important species on the planet. And even Vanessa's job is affected when the flowers die because she will have no business without flowers. So everybody is affected in the third act. And animation wise, this movie is inventive. I mean, the designer of the hive, like a huge bee sissy, is brilliant. And when they fly outside the hive, you get to follow Barry as he's flying through New York, and when he's holding onto a tennis ball when Vanessa and her boyfriend are flicking it back and forwards. It's like you're on a bee simulator at Universal Orlando or something. I mean, 16 years later, this movie is still exceptionally pretty to look at. And though I did say this movie was not great, I mean, half of it is decent and the other half is flawed. The pacing is a major detractor. Yeah, the courtroom scenes did require the most trimming in the editing room. Yeah, they do overstay their welcome, and kids are not going to want to sit through a court case for that long. As entertaining as they make the courtroom stuff, uh, uh, I mean, it worked fine in Legally Blonde and Miracle on 34th Street because they are more adult movies, whereas for a younger audience, you got to make the courtroom stuff flow by a bit more rapid. And though it was shocking to see Barry's best friend nearly die after he stung that overweight guy in the arse. This movie is also educational in that it reassures you that bees don't want to sting you because if they do, it will be fatal to them. If they do, their vital organs will be torn out. And also, yeah, Barry's parents are the most formulaic and cliched characters in this movie. Like they are the parents who are just like, oh, Barry, we want you to do this, and Barry's like, no, I want to follow my own path and take matters into my own hands, and and by and of course they disapprove of this, but by the end of the movie they're proud when Barry becomes a pollen jock, and they honestly could have had more involvement in the narrative. And I think even Barry's friend got more scenes with Barry than they did. And uh, yeah, and plus, New York is a plain and uh, bland setting for this movie. Like we already saw the Big Apple in Madagascar 2 years prior to this movie. Do we need to see it again? And as for the soundtrack, I do wish the soundtrack was more original. It's just uses, iconic pop songs like Sugar Honey Honey in Barry's dream sequence with Vanessa, and Here Comes the Sun in the final scene. Oh, and one special cameo from a Dreamworks movie you cannot afford to miss in this movie is Chris Rock as the Mosquito. That's right, Marty the Zebra is now a Mosquito. In fact, he may be even more hysterical than Patrick Warburton's character. Why does everything have to be so darn clean? How much do you people need to see? Open your eyes, stick your head out the window. Despite some of the inventive shots of New York, from a bee's eye view. But with all that said, B movie ain't no DreamWorks classic, but it's night. It's nowhere near one of their worst either. I do think some people who call it one of DreamWorks' absolute worst are way too harsh on it, because it's certainly deserves appreciation for, well, its message and educational value about the importance of bees and why we should protect them. I give B movie 3 stars out of 5. Good movie. So yeah, that's another Dreamworks movie all reviewed and wraps up. Thank you so much, Sam, for the terrific request. And yeah, I've still got more Dreamworks movies to come, but they will come in time. I'm especially hyped for Ruby Gilman's Teenage Kraken, which is just around the corner now. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. What are your thoughts on B movie? Do you think this movie deserves the mediocre reception, or do you find it one of DreamWorks' most underappreciated and misunderstood gems? Please comments and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.